What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiance Season 11, Episode 5, Love is Not Enough. Let's talk about Mina and Mark. Let's just skip to the beach scene. So Mina and Mark have flown to North Carolina to meet with his family, and the first people that they're going to meet with is his daughter Jordan and her boyfriend before they get to the rest of the family. So they're on the beach, Mina, Mark, Jordan, and her boyfriend, and they get to the nitty gritty pretty damn quickly. So the meeting is very awkward. There's a lot of tension because Mina and Jordan hate each other. And Jordan begins off by talking about how she is feeling left out at her big grown age of 20 something. She says that she feels very left out, that her father is not giving her enough attention because the father is concentrating on his new life with Mina and little baby Maria. And I'm thinking to myself, Jordan, I need you to get some business. I need you to get some business. I need you to get a life. What are you talking about? You feel like your dad is not spending enough time with you and that you're feeling left out of your dad's life. You are a grown woman with a man, and I'm pretty sure you have a job or a career. You got stuff going on. You're not a child who is waiting by the window with a little suitcase packed, waiting for daddy to come pick them up. But, dad doesn't show up because he'd rather be with his new girlfriend for the weekend. You are a grown woman. What are you talking about? Your dad is leaving you out. You live in a whole nother state, completely, different from your dad. What's happening here? Like, how is he supposed to be spending more time with you? You're a grown woman, Jordan. I was very confused about that, and I'm pretty sure she's just using that as a manipulative tactic to, I guess, try to make her dad feel guilty or make her dad feel ashamed that he's spending time with his new girlfriend and their new baby. I don't know why the hell Jordan would bring that up. It just sounded very silly to me. Then she talks about how she tells her dad, don't forget about your older kids. He hasn't forgotten about his older kids. This conversation is silly because they're not talking about the root of the problem. They're not talking about the real issue. And I've always believed that the real issue is that Jordan and maybe her brother, we don't know because her brother has not made an appearance yet, but definitely Jordan is probably worried that her inheritance is going to be diminished because her father has a new girlfriend, soon to be wife, and a new baby, and probably plans to have more children. And this is cutting into her inheritance. I think that's what Jordan's real issue is. But she's bringing up these silly topics about how, Dad, you're forgetting about your older kids. I'm feeling left out. You're not spending enough time with me. She's bringing up these silly topics because for whatever reason, they want to beat around the bush about the real issues. And so then she talks about how she never envisioned her dad would be having a baby at this age. And he wouldn't be having babies if he would be with women who were closer to his age. Once again, this is a silly conversation. Jordan, how do you control what your father is attracted to? Your father, for whatever reason, is attracted to younger women. Mina is not his first rodeo. The girl before Mina was also significantly younger than him. That relationship only broke off because he had brought up a prenuptial agreement and she ran off to the hills. So your dad is used to dating younger women. He wants to be with younger women. He is attracted to younger women. You're not going to make your dad start chasing Dorothy, Blanche, Rose, and Sophia because it's more comfortable for you. Your dad wants what he wants, and he wants young women. And I don't know how you're going to change that, Jordan. So I would advise just to leave that alone as well. So she talks about how, it's strange, it's weird that her dad is having babies at this age. And Mina thought this conversation was very disrespectful because she tells Jordan, I do what I want to do with my body. And I do plan on having more children. So I don't know what you're going to do about that. Then, Mina dismisses the two men, the boyfriend, Jordan's boyfriend, and Mark. She tells him to go off and play with Maria, and so she can have a one-on-one with Jordan. So when she has her one-on-one with Jordan, Jordan doesn't waste any time. First, Jordan talks about how when they had all gone to Paris for Maria's baptism, Mina was 3 hours late. And so Mina was like, I didn't know this was a problem for you because, in Paris, this is normal. I didn't know what she meant by that. This is normal in Paris. Like, it's normal to keep people waiting for 3 hours. But then again, if I was Jordan and I was in Paris and, the star of the show was taking forever to show up, I'm not going to be upset about it because I'm in Paris. I'm in Paris and I'm having a damn good time. I don't give a damn if Mina is there or not there. I am still going to enjoy myself in the beautiful city of Paris. So I don't know what Jordan was complaining about. Why don't you just go down the street or something and have some croissants, or, take a little tour of the city or something? Like, why? There's no way I would be unhappy and pissed off and sad and miserable in Paris. I just wouldn't be. So then Jordan talks about how her dad doesn't need to be having more children. She says, what is it going to look like? If I decide to have kids, then my kids and my dad's kids are going to be the same age. Like, what is that all about? And then she questions Mina's intentions. Like, what are you really here for? And she implies that she could be using Mark for his money. And at this point, Mina had had enough. And so she tells Jordan, I think you're a snake and I don't want you to come to my wedding. And Jordan says, you don't want me to come to my dad's wedding? And Mina was like, yeah, I don't want you to come to the wedding. And so then Jordan walks off, and then Mina walks off. And as she's walking off, she's muttering snake, snake, snake under her breath. My whole opinion about this whole entire situation is I understand how Jordan is feeling. You don't want your dad to be taken advantage of by this younger woman, but your dad is a grown man. If he doesn't know any better, what the hell can you do? Because you've tried to talk to him, you've tried to reason with him. He's not going to leave Mina. If you went through this whole entire process of bringing her to the United States, and then he has a child with her as well, he is not going to be leaving her anytime soon. If that relationship ever ends, it's not going to be because Jordan's not comfortable with it. It's going to be because the two people involved, for whatever reason, want it to end. And until that happens, Jordan, you're just going to have to accept the fact that this woman is going to be a part of your life. This woman is going to be a part of your dad's life. And whatever hell she brings him, this is all between the two of them. It's got nothing to do with you, Jordan. Get you some business, get a life, get a hobby. I don't know what else to tell you, Jordan. Your dad's a grown man. He probably knows how the game is played, why younger women gravitate towards older men. Yes, most likely they do understand that they need financial security. And the man is willing to give that for him to get what he wants, to have a younger woman on his arm, to have whatever he wants going on in the bedroom with this younger woman. They understand, these two people understand what the trade-off is. I don't think that your dad is so naive to think that if he didn't have the money that he had, and I don't know how much money this man has, and I don't know how well he's taking care of me. Now, I don't know anything about the finances. I'm just assuming. I'm pretty sure that Mark knows that if he did not have the money, or if he wasn't able to take care of Mina, he knows damn well that Mina would not be giving him the time of day. He knows the what's up. He's not stupid. But I think a lot of older men are willing to do the trade-off. They're willing to give the money for them to get a little, whatever the hell a little bit of action, to whatever. You know what I'm talking about? They're willing to do that. It's okay with them. They understand what it is, and they're good with that. They're cool with that. And so, Jordan, I'm going to need you to also be cool with that as well. Let's talk about Matt. Her name is, the way it's spelled, it's like it should be pronounced Amani, but Matt calls her Amini. Anyway, so we have Matt, Amani, and Ani in Mexico. Okay, so when we see them, when their segment begins, all three of them are in bed. They're all in bed. And I keep thinking to myself how Amani keeps telling us how thruples are not about sex. They're not about, all of that. They're wholesome, clean relationships about love and family and all this other stuff. But every time we see them, there's something sexual going on. So all three of them are in bed. And Annie tells us that the night before, in her confessional, Annie tells us that the night before, it wasn't a threesome. It was only a twosome because Amani had gotten sick. She wasn't feeling well. So her and Matt ended up having sex the previous night. So they're on their way to, I don't know where they're going, but they're going to another hotel. And on their way there, they're having a conversation about meeting Ani's family. And so Amani asks Ani, what does your family know about us? What have you told them about us? And Ani tells Amani that, look, I haven't really told them the full truth of what we're doing. They think that me and Matt are in a relationship, that Matt is my boyfriend, and that you're just a friend. So Amani got pissed off. She was like, what? You're trying to hide me. You're not telling your family the truth about what's really going on here. Amani felt really upset about it because she feels like, I know she sees herself as the glue that's holding them together, that she's like, the center point of this thruple. And so she feels like she's felt, I guess, disrespected. Like, you didn't tell them that I'm your girlfriend too, that I'm involved in this as well. And so Ani tells her, my family's Catholic. I guess they're kind of conservative. They'd be okay if it was just me and you or just me and Matt, but I don't know how they're going to take the fact that I'm involved in a throuple, in a polyamorous relationship. So this makes Amani question whether Ani is serious about really being with them and coming back to America and being a part of their family and starting this new life together as a family. So Amani now is keeping her good eye on Ani. So they get to their new hotel and they all get into the jacuzzi. And when they're in the jacuzzi, Ani decides to tell Amani, Matt's wife, that the night before her and Matt had relations while Amani was, knocked out sick. So Amani got upset about this as well. And she was like, she actually was upset with Matt. And she tells her husband, well, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me? Why do I have to hear it from her? And Matt was like, well, it's not like I'm keeping it from you, sweetheart. I'm not trying to hide information from you or keep secrets from you. I just didn't think that it was worth coming up. I didn't know that I had to ask permission, to be with my girlfriend or to be with our girlfriend. And Amani says it's not about asking for permission. It's just about you being open with me and communicating with me about what the hell is going on. Already the cracks are beginning in this throuple. There are some issues here. And Matt, his whole thing is, I don't know what the rules are in a throuple. I don't know what I'm supposed to say or not say. I don't know what's good for one is good for the, I don't know what the hell's going on. He's just going whatever, wherever his blankety blank is leading him. And it led him to Amani the night before because it led him to Ani the night before because she was the only one who was ready and willing. So he's confused. Like, why is my wife upset? I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't know what the hell I was. So I'm like, he's like, we need some rules then. We need some ground rules. I need to know the do's and don'ts because I don't want to make anybody upset. So yeah, I don't think Amani is the kind of woman that will thrive in a throuple because she seems to have like a jealous streak. And she talked about how when Ani told her that she told her family that she was just a friend, Amani brings up all of this past trauma of being hidden and being ignored or something in her past. And so how she's not going to put up with that again. I don't know if Amani is really built for a throuple. You think you want it until you actually get it. Okay, then you realize maybe this isn't for you. I think she's a little bit too possessive. I think she's very controlling, and I think that she does have a jealous streak. And I don't think that is those are good qualities for a polyamorous relationship. She might need to rethink this whole thing. Because I thought she would have been like, oh, that's cool, because I wasn't feeling well, but my husband was still satisfied. This is the whole point of us, doing this is like, we can almost, things can still happen when one can't perform or I don't know. I thought she would have been happy about it, but she wasn't happy. She was upset. Moving on to Juan and Jessica. So we are still at the damn bar where Jessica's friend is interrogating Juan like Juan is her man. She's crying because Juan admitted to cheating on Jessica, and she's crying as if Juan admitted to cheating on her. I was so confused. Like, girl, this is not your man. Why do you care? Especially if the girlfriend is okay with whatever the hell he did because she forgave him and she moved on. Why are you crying? I can understand being a little bit upset that, your friend's boyfriend is cheating on her or has cheated on her, but why are you crying? Why is this so emotional for you? Anywho, so Jessica tells her friend that, look, I knew about him cheating. We talked about it and we moved on. And then Jessica said that I think it wasn't Jessica. I think it was actually her friend who brought up the fact that Jessica herself also had a moment of weakness when her and Juan were still long distance dating, because Jessica ends up admitting that she had gone she had spent time with an ex-boyfriend. And Juan said that he knew that while they were long distance dating, he knew that she had spent time with another man. He just didn't know that it was an ex-boyfriend until the friend brought it up. The friend is messy boots, y'all. Messy boots. Like, Jessica, I need you to reevaluate your friendship with that girl. Anywho, so Juan was like, well, I knew that you were spending time with another man. I just didn't know that was your ex. And so now he's bothered by that, or he's pretending to be bothered by that. And the reason why I say pretending is because it's like, Juan, you cheated on her. You actually slept with a whole nother woman. According to Jessica, she didn't sleep with her ex. They just spent some time together. So on their way home from the bar, he begins to ask a lot of questions. Well, where did you and him meet up? And I think she said at her house. Where were the kids? The kids were gone. What time of day was it? It was at night. So Juan is like putting these pieces together, and he's like, and you want me to believe that he came over to your house with no kids around at night and nothing happened? Yeah, right. And so she tries to convince him that no, I didn't do anything. And she's telling us, I don't know why Juan is being so hypocritical, because I forgave him for actually cheating on me. He slept with another woman and I forgave him for that. But now he's giving me a hard time because I spent time with my ex. Now, Juan says the reason why he's so upset about it is because he calls that emotional cheating. He's like, it's one thing if you have like a little one night stand with some random girl, but it's something completely different when someone you had an emotional connection with comes back into your life, and now y'all have reunited, and all the emotions are still there. Won't let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Even if she did, first of all, even if she did sleep with him, you slept with another girl. And I know he's trying to imply that, if there's still this emotional tie to her ex-boyfriend, that could draw her back to him again. And they could try to meet up again, or she could try to be seeing this man again because they have this emotional bond. We totally understand what you're talking about, Juan, but you still cheated on her. And unfortunately, if nothing happened, I don't know why Jessica would bring this up. I don't know why she would even have told him about this at all. If nothing happened between you and the ex, why would you even bring it up? Because I think that, and this is probably going to sound very sexist, but I think that men see things differently. And even though, let's say, he gives her the benefit of the doubt that nothing happened, the fact that she was spending time with another man, that's enough to mess him up. Even though he cheated, even though he went further than just spending time with another girl, in his mind, he still sees this as a huge betrayal. And it's very, it is hypocritical of him, and he shouldn't make it a big deal. He needs to let it go, because it seems like Jessica really wants to be with him. So he needs to just let it go. He needs to forgive her and let it go. The fact that he's making a big deal about it being her ex-boyfriend, I think he's coming off as, a little bit silly, considering that he did worse. Moving on to Aaliyah and Shawn. So Aaliyah was approved for her visa. So she calls Shawn and she tells him, I'm really happy. I got approved, blah, blah, blah. And so now he's worried about introducing Aaliyah to his children, because his children know nothing about Aaliyah. Nothing. Do you hear me? They go through this whole K1 process. She gets approved. She's about to come to the United States, and his kids know nothing about her. So he's having lunch with his mother. His mother knows everything about Aaliyah from beginning to end. She knows that Aaliyah used to be Douglas. Now she's living as a transgendered woman. And the mother is very accepting of all of this because she wants her son to be happy. But the mother does bring up concerns about how the children are going to receive this information. And so the mother says, I really need my grandchildren to understand that, their father is very happy and that he needs to do this for himself. He deserves to be happy. And so she's hoping that her grandchildren are going to come around and accept this. But he's going to be dropping a lot of information on his kids. The kids he's been traveling a lot to Brazil. But they don't know why. So now he's going to have to tell them, okay, I'm traveling to Brazil a lot because I met somebody from there. We're in a relationship. We're going to be getting married. They're about to come to America. And by the way, they're transgendered. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to go. Now, while Shawn is having this conversation with his mother, Aaliyah is having a similar conversation with her mother back in Brazil. And the conversation that she's having with her mom is, I don't understand why Shawn has not told his children about me. We're about to be getting married and they still don't know anything about me. So is he really committed to me? Is he hiding me because he's ashamed of me? And, her mom got really emotional and began crying and, just prayed that everything was going to go all right and that God is going to protect her daughter when she comes to the United States, because I think the mom thinks this whole entire thing is suspicious. Moving on to Sarper and Shekinah. So they get to the United States and they have 90 days not to get married. And Shekinah expresses some concern about the time that they have left before they have to get married. She doesn't think that they have enough time. She thinks that, they still have to get to know each other a little bit more. He has to, meet her family, her friends, and they're going to have to learn how to cohabitate, blah, 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 blah. And whatever Shekinah is talking about, I'm not listening to it. They're going to stay together. Shekinah and Sarper are here for the long run. As long as there is somebody willing to put a camera in their face and to pay them money or to pay her money, they're going to be together. Okay, I think that Shekinah and Sarper see this whole entire thing as an opportunity for them to do whatever the hell they want to do at the end of it all. So there is not going to be any breaking up. They're going to ride this train until the damn wheels fall off the track. I don't know what else to say. So they get to her apartment. He's concerned that her apartment is very, very small. And it's also packed to the gill with her esthetician equipment because she's a licensed esthetician. And there's equipment everywhere. There's the esthetician table. There's all kinds of hoodads and, thingamajigs all over the place. And she tells him that she works from home, obviously, and that when she has her clients over, he's going to have to go away. And he's like, oh, okay, just go upstairs or something. She's like, no, you're going to have to completely leave because it's not about you making noise or you interrupting. It's about the fact that my clients are not going to feel comfortable if there's somebody else here while they're getting their treatments. They don't want to censor their conversations or anything like that, knowing that there's another person in the vicinity. So you're going to have to, get out of here. And then she tells them, I don't cook in the house because I don't want the lingering smell of food in my home because this is where I work. And it's just not right to have, the house smelling like fish and eggs and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, no cooking in the house. And Sarper's like, okay, I can't cook in here. And when you have clients, which is probably every day, I have to leave. And she's like, yeah, that's about it. And so he's telling us, I knew nothing about this. I had no idea that this was going to be my life, that I can't cook in my own house and I can't be in my own house when she's working. Like, what the hell is going on here? And it doesn't really matter. Like I said, Sarper isn't going anywhere. Shekinah isn't going anywhere. Moving on to Mahdi and Stevie. So Mahdi finally meets Stevie's family, and the father, of course, expresses some concern about him coming from Iran and asking him, are you going to be treating my daughter the way that the women are treated in your country? Like second-class citizens or treated like their property. They don't have a voice, don't have a say-so, they have no independence, etc. And Mahdi reassures his soon-to-be father-in-law that, no, I will never treat her like that. I understand that women are their own individuals and they can make their own choices and live their own lives. And I totally support that and I will not be treating her like that. So then they sit down for dinner and they just like different stuff, right? They have different things. They have turkey, they had macaroni and cheese, all kinds of different dishes, but they also had pork. And I understand that there was a variety of things to eat. He did not have to eat the pork because he says that he couldn't eat pork. He doesn't eat pork. His culture doesn't allow it. So I understand that there were other things to eat. There was a variety of stuff to eat, but I was still kind of like, why would you even serve that for a guest that I'm thinking Stevie should have known that, I wouldn't have done that for someone that I was inviting to my home and serving them food. I would not put things there that they that's against her culture to eat. I just wouldn't do it. But whatever, it's not a big deal. So Stevie has a chance to talk to her mom alone, and she tells her mom that Mahdi had told her that if he goes back to Iran, he won't be able to come back. And how does she feel about that? And so she was telling her mom, the way that she told her mom, she made it seem like he was considering at some point going back home. And she felt like she was really upset about that. She's like, I don't understand why. He just got here, Mom. He just got here and he's already talking about, going back home to Iran and how you'll be able to come back if you go. And I'm like, why are you telling your mom that? Number one, it was a hypothetical question. You want your family to like him. So why are you already painting this picture that he's gonna bounce any minute now? So then they're gonna be concerned that, any minute now he's gonna be leaving. Like, why would you bring that up to your mom? Like, I didn't understand why. And the whole point of this is for her to try to convince her family that he is not the stereotype that they think he is, or that he is not just using her for a green card or just using her for money, or that he's not very serious about her. So you're bringing up negative things about him. Like, I'm not understanding why you would do that, Stevie. I didn't get it at all. But I think her father was like, he's a decent guy. I think they're okay with him. But Mahdi is very stiff. He's very, very stiff. He's always like, he looks very uncomfortable. He looks like he's waiting for something to happen. He's waiting for someone to come and attack him, or he's waiting for something really, I don't know. He just seems really uncomfortable. Every time that I've seen him, even when he's just with Stevie, he seems very uncomfortable. And like he's scared or something. I don't know. Anywho, that's my review. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it on your way out. Please don't forget to rate the video if you like this content, subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later.